Hey guys, it's me, Hannah Pin here, and I apologize for the long break. And let me tell you, it's been a long time since I ever did a read-along video, but right now I'm back and just finished the 14th chapter last week, and now I'm going to read the 15th chapter of Whatever After If the Shoe Fits, a New York Times best-selling book series, and I'm going to read you the 15th chapter of this book. Chapter 15. After first you don't succeed, keep eating. While Cinderella bakes in the kitchen, Jonah puts the chicken Caesar salad on plates, and I serve it in the dining room. You didn't give me enough chicken, Beatrice complains. Excuse me? Do you want me to get more? I ask. Surely I do. Why else I would have complained? Because you complain about everything? So far, she told me that there's a speck of dirt on her fork, a draft in the room, and no pepper on the table. Anything else? I ask. I look at Kayla, but she's too busy staring at her plate. What's up with her? You need to refill our water too, Betty snaps. I'm thirsty. No problem, I say with fake cheer. As long as they're not coming in the kitchen, I'm happy. I kept a fake smile on my face until I'm back in the kitchen and I groan. Betty and Beatrice are so annoying. More water, more chicken, clean forks, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget about Kayla, Cinderella says, pulling her first batch of brownies out from her oven. Pulling her first batch of brownies from the oven. Hasn't she complained about the food needing more salt yet? She always complains about food needing more salt. She hasn't actually. Kayla's barely said 2 words. She's barely eating. Neither. She's just moping into food. Maybe she's getting sick or something, Cinderella says. She cuts out 2 chunks of brownie and hands one over to Jonah and one to me. Here, try this. Blah! Jonah says, spitting out in the garbage. Jonah, that's so rude, I say. But it tastes gross. Can you try to be constructive, please? I ask. He looks thoughtful, but it needs to be less bad. I take a small bite. I second the blah, but kept it to myself. Very constructive, Jonah. Thank you. I actually think it needs more sugar and maybe more chocolate chunks. Will do, Cinderella says, dancing around the kitchen. I think she's having fun. Now all we need is for her to make us a decent brownie, and we'll be all set. The next batch is disgusting too. It's way too gooey. I didn't know it was possible to have brownies that were too gooey, but it is. Should I feed it to the evil ones for dessert? I asked. Yes! Maybe it will make them barf! I shuddered. Then we have to clean up the barf. I actually don't know how what to give them for dessert. Cinderella says, we have nothing ready. Do you have any fruit? I ask. Fruit isn't dessert, Jonah says, looking horrified. It is too. I saw some clementines. They can have those. Make sure to peel them, Cinderella says. Seriously? I groan. Jonah, help me. I'm kind of busy, he says. By busy, he means he's dipping his finger in the brownie bowl and licking it. After they make chocolate brownies, can you make caramel brownies and chocolate chip brownies and blondies? And add some with nuts, I add. Yuck, Jonah says. No one really likes nuts in their brownies. They just eat them because they have to. Why would you have to eat brownies with nuts? I ask. Parents think they're healthier, like carrot cake. People think it's healthy because it has carrots in the name. Blah. Please do not put nuts in your brownies. Got it, Cinderella says. No nuts and no carrots. Jonah adds. The clementines do not go over well. Fruit is not a dessert, Beatrice cries. I expect you to make something more desserty tomorrow, Betty says. There are 3 of you in there. You have to excuse. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Kayla just stares at her clementines. Back in the kitchen, I discover that batch 3 of the brownies is burnt. I'm beginning to get nervous. What about ketchup brownies? Jonah suggested. That's disgusting, I say, and stop eating the brownie mix. I think these need vanilla, Cinderella says, sampling batch 4. I've just cleared the plates off the dining room table and have no idea what vanilla does to brownies. So I am happy to take her word for it. Cinderella, Kayla says, poking her head into the kitchen. I like another glass of water. Seriously? Can she not pour the water herself? Of course, Cinderella says. Kayla eyes the many plates of brownies. What are you doing there? Here, sorry. Preparing dessert for tomorrow, Cinderella answers, which is not a lie. Oh, she says. She looks like she's about to say something more, but she doesn't. When Cinderella hands her a glass of water, though she whispers a tiny thank you, then she hurries out of the kitchen. Cinderella looks stunned. What was that? She says. Kayla never says thank you. None of them do. That's so rude, I say. That's the least of it, Cinderella says. Last week, Kayla dripped tomato sauce on the chair and then blamed me. Betty made me scrub it with my toothbrush, and then Kayla just laughed. Then Beatrice spilled more on purpose. The 2 of them are the worst. Sure, Beatrice usually Sure, Beatrice is usually the investigator, but Kayla's no angel. I put my arm around her thin shoulders. You'll be out of here soon. I just know it. You will, Jonah says, helping himself to another spoonful of batter. This stuff isn't bad. It's not as awesome as dogs in a blanket, but his eyes lit up. Can you make dogs in a blanket brownies? That would be awesome. Please don't, I say. We could dip them in ketchup. Sometimes I'm not sure how we're related. Cinderella finishes batch 5 at around 11. I chew carefully. It is chocolatey. It is the perfect amount of gooey. It is melt in my mouth, delicious. Hooray! Cinderella, I say slowly. Sorry. This is the best chocolate brownies I have ever had in my entire life. The next morning, we wait for Betty and her daughters to leave to visit more friends before we start baking. I know, more friends? We used up all the chocolate and all the flour and all the eggs and make 10 trays of brownies. 12 brownies per tray. We wait for them to cool down, pack them up, and get ready to go to the market. If we sell them for $1 each, we'll even have extra money. Cinderella is going to need extra cash for supplies and stuff. Except, guys, I ask. We're already standing in front of Cinderella's house. We have the brownies, some signs, and even the ironing board. That was my great idea. We need some sort of table for the booths, right? Where is the market? And how are we supposed to get there? Cinderella, Jonah says, don't you have a car or something you can drive? She shakes her head. My coach turned to a squash pumpkin, remember? How do you normally get there? I ask. I normally walk. It's not that far. Maybe 20 minutes, no problem. Yes, problem. We're carrying 10 trays of brownies. I look down at her still swollen foot. Even if Jonah and I carry a share, I don't think we're walking anywhere. Yeah. Maybe she can stay behind and bake more brownies. Jonah asked. And we can do the selling? I don't know if that's gonna cut it with Farah, I say. How is she walking on her own 2 feet if we're leaving her behind? We stand there, not sure what to do. One coach goes by us, and then another one. Can we call a taxi? Jonah asked. A what? Cinderella asked. If this brownie scene doesn't work, she can start a taxi service. We can always take the porridge, Cinderella says. I hate porridge, Jonah says. Stick to brownies, please. The what? I ask. The porridge. You don't have porridges in Smithville? I don't know what that is, I say. She looks at me with disbelief. This Smithville place, Sure sounds backwards. At least we have brownies. Oh, look, she says, putting down the street. Here comes a carriage now. Up ahead is a green carriage being pulled by 2 horses. On the front of the carriage, it says, 5 Cross Town. Oh, Jonah exclaims, it's a bus. It's a porridge, Cinderella says. You know, public carriage. Cool, I say, but how much does it cost? We don't have any money. 50 cents a person, she says, each way. Maybe we can pay in brownies? I wave at the driver as the porridge approaches, but he doesn't stop. Don't be silly, Cinderella says. You have to be picked up at the porridge stop. Where is it? I ask, annoyed. We're never going to make it at the end of the street. Where is it? At the end of the street. Where is it? I ask, annoyed. We're never going to make it at the end of the street, Cinderella says. Sorry. I apologize. I see a sign in the shape of a diamond at the corner. Jonah, you run up and now help Cinderella. Go, go, go! Jonah runs up ahead, carrying his share of the brownies. I don't know if he's going to make it. Cinderella and I follow behind as fast as we can. Ouch, she says with every step. Ouch, ouch, ouch! We're almost there. I encourage poor Cinderella. He runs, and he makes it. Jonah steps onto the carriage. He takes a step out. He steps back out a second later. He'll take us! He shouts. For a half a dozen brownies. 6 brownies. That's highway robbery. That's $6 worth. It's worse than that. I had to give him a whole brownie to taste first. He liked it a lot. But that's his final offer. He says, take it or leave it. It's not like we have a choice, Cinderella says. Grumble. It sounds like brownie blackmail to me. All right, 6 more brownies it is, I say. I wish we had saved some for our gross ones from last night. We reach the bus, hand over the brownies, and squish into a seat. These are really good, the driver says. Crumbs are caught in his beard. What are they called again? Crownies. These brownies, Jonah says. Kind of like crownies. Since no one here knows what brownies are, we can call them crownies if you want. Why not? We invented them, and then we can call the store Cinderella's Crownies. Cinderella's Crownies, I announced. We'll be at the market. Tell your friends. Cinderella puts her foot up onto the seat. Her toes are still the size of marshmallows. Marshmallow crownies. I look back at her toes. Yuck. Never mind. What would happen? Would Cinderella's crownies be a big hit at the market? Stay tuned tomorrow for the 16th chapter, and I'll see you next time.